Hello everyone, my name is Jazmin. Welcome to another video on my channel. I wanted to go back in time and just think about when the internet was a better place overall. I watched The Social Dilemma and I'm going through an existential crisis. Decided to put together a list of things that I used to enjoy on the internet when I was younger. Way back before social media was a thing. I'm just a basic fucking bitch now. So I like to reminisce about the person I used to be. So first thing here is Audition. I used to go to these internet cafes all the time in the Philippines when I was younger, and that was my main means of using the internet. And my parents would allow me to stay at the internet cafe for like 30 minutes to an hour. These computers always had Audition installed in them. And one time, instead of going on Neopets, I ended up going onto Audition. My uncoordinated ass was not able to press on keys to the beat. You had to be good with the number keys and hit all the buttons as the numbers come flying. It's basically DDR for your fingers, and I was never good at it. Like, the music was always fucking dope, and I always found really cool Asian artists through the game. And I remember playing it for the first time and the keys just flying, and me not getting anything right. And I didn't give a fuck because I just liked hearing the song. It was like a K-rock band called Cherry Filter, and it was just like so happy sounding, and the name of the song was called Come to Me. You know when people like would illegally upload music videos at the time on YouTube? Yeah, I found one of those. And it was pixelated as fuck, but it was so good. The lead singer had this like pop, really punky type of outfit on. It felt so cool for like liking something that was adjacent to rock. So I fucked up here with the title. Okay, whatever. But so another thing on here was the Babysitters Club. I borrowed from the library all the time because that was one of my main forms of entertainment. Like, I used to actually read, and my favorite series of all time, other than random Mary Kay and Ashley books, was the Babysitters Club. And I had never I didn't have any experience babysitting. Like, I could not relate to these kids at all, but I loved reading about them. Like, I remember being like 10, 11 years old and reading a book about the babysitters going through a snowstorm, and I was just like, wow, that hits home deep. Even though my motherfucking Filipino residing ass had never experienced, and I still have not experienced, a single snowflake dropping from the sky like once ever. Like, it taught me so many miscellaneous things that I could probably go on the rest of my life without knowing, and it was just dope. Like, I remember one of the main characters, Christy, had like a border collie, and I was like, that's dope. I don't know what a border collie is. I was going to the library all the time, as I mentioned, and we used to have a computer lab, and something that the girls in the computer lab like to do was play like different computer games. I would be that annoying motherfucker that would just like peek over people's shoulders and be like, cool, what is that? 3 to 5 of us being crowded around one computer watching one person play a computer game. It was a simple time. And I remember one of these websites that people used to go to was Original. I feel like even to this day the graphics still hold up. Like, just very clean, very minimalistic, and really high quality. I should play an original game sometime. I very fondly remember that. Super relaxing. I feel like it's the computer game equivalent of listening to ASMR. Another thing that I liked to do way back when was play on emulators. I feel like half the things I'm mentioning here are illegal. Am I allowed to post this? Anyways, another thing that I like to do was use emulators to play video games. I remember having an emulator for the Super Nintendo, for the Sega Genesis, and the Nintendo 64. Games I used to like to play. Paper Mario. Super Mario RPG. And then my favorite game of all time, ever, is this really random one called Phantasy Star 4. I like a lot of turn-based RPGs, if you couldn't tell by my list of games. I just don't like thinking on my feet. I like taking my sweet ass time making smart decisions. But yeah, Phantasy Star 4's storyline is fantastic, even though I've never played any of the other Phantasy Star games before. The cutscenes are comic book style. They're just very, very unique and awesome, and the dialogue is great, and the characters are well developed, and it's a very fascinating game. Another thing that I remember really enjoying was AMVs. They stood for anime music videos, but I specifically watched AMVs for Avatar music videos. So people would take like a really popular song and overlay Avatar clips on it, like Avatar The Last Airbender clips, like directly from the episode with the Nickelodeon logo in the corner. I think that was my first time like really feeling inspired, like watching how people edit videos. There was this one edit that I really loved. I remember people would make AMVs to like Simple Plan, Linkin Park, just really emo shit. Another thing here on this list is free webs, and I think it goes by webs.com. Actually, I don't even know if it's like a running site anymore, but I remember way back when it was like all the rage to build your own website. I spammed that website with so many different website ideas and then proceeded to never post them. I went through so many different phases of cartoons. I remember making a fan page for SpongeBob. I remember making a fan page for The Fairly OddParents, a website for Avatar The Last Airbender. I coded one, I think, for Danny Phantom. Oh god, I used to have such a crush on Danny. And Sam. Anyways, that was another library discovery. Like, going back to the library computer area, I remember after school, again, like 5 girls would be crowded around one computer and we would just like watch someone make a website. And that was it. That's what we did for fun. And lastly, it was my first time delving back into K-pop after Cherry Filter. So Cherry Filter I discovered around 2007, 2008 or something, but I went back into K-pop around 2012 because I was super into 21, and my first bias ever was Bomb. When her solo dropped, that shit like hit me in the feels. Legit, like I thought her eyes were beautiful, I thought her voice was beautiful. It was just so unique and soulful, and I remember you and I made me cry like a little bitch. And if you haven't watched that music video, you should watch it so you can cry like a little bitch. But that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching this incredibly random video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, I guess. I'm gonna go edit this video and cringe at myself being on camera again.